Good morning, I'm Bob Oakes. Is the race for governor of Massachusetts at risk of becoming a two-man contest? Democrat turned independent Timothy Cahill has been the target of negative ads and has fallen off in recent polling. We're joined this morning by our political analyst, Democrat Dan Payne. Good morning, Dan.
Morning, Bob.
And Republican Todd Domke. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Bob.
So let me start by asking, are the ads any good? Are they effective, Dan?
Well, strategically, I think Cahill is off. He's obsessed with being an independent. He's been in government continuously since 1987, so it's hard to run as an anti-government independent when you've been in government about three-quarters of your adult life. But as for the commercial itself, he's doing a bad imitation of Scott Brown.
Todd Domke.
I think Dan's right that he made the mistake of trying to emulate Scott Brown without really understanding what worked for Brown. Instead, his introduction is, as Dan said, whining,
Are people at this time paying any attention to this race? Is this the right time or the wrong time to run any ads, whether they're effective or not?
Well, it's not a good time. I mean, people are tuned out during the summer, and especially during a heat wave. And you wonder why, he's doing it now. Cahill's problem now is he can't convince people that he is a genuine independent, because, indeed, he has been part of the system as a career politician.
Yeah, he's going to have to spend millions to get back into the race. I mean, he's sitting at 9 points now, which is pretty far down the ladder.
Can I ask about the political math here, Dan? What would a campaign expect a week's worth of $300,000 ads to get them in terms of points at polls?
I'd say if it's a heavy buy and you've run it for a week or 10 days, which is the customary flight it's called, you could probably show a gain of a couple of points. So I have a feeling that he's not going to get much of a bump out of this at all.
So when we spoke a month ago, you said you expected that this race, the gubernatorial race, would end up a two-person race, a two-man race. Is that what we're seeing, Baker and Deval Patrick?
Well, that's the way the race is trending. Deval Patrick wants it to be a three-way race, so he can divide up the anti-Patrick vote. Baker wants a two-way race, so he becomes the alternative, the only alternative. And Tim Cahill obviously wants it to be a one-man race because that's the only way he can win this thing at this point.
Todd.
Well, Cahill has become questionable even as a spoiler. Because right now he has not become plausible as an alternative.
Dan.
He needs to do something dramatic and daring, and I think he should declare himself the Tea Party candidate. They're not really a party. He can attach himself to it. It would give him a little cachet. It would make people tune in again to see what he's about. And his views seem to align with those of the Tea Party membership, at least as we can understand them. They're anti-government, and he seems to be running a campaign that's anti-government.
Do either of you think that Cahill might drop out of this race?
No. He'll stay to the end. He has been asked this question already, and he says, no, I'm in it all the way.
It's hard to get into his mind, especially when you're projecting ahead of what he might be thinking if it looks clear that he is a sure loser. He might be tempted to then bow out graciously and endorse someone and hope, as I said, to become a kingmaker in that way to preserve some political clout. But right now, he's probably saying, okay, we'll try this advertising route, we'll try to make a comeback, and if it doesn't work, I'll think about that later.
Okay, thanks to both of you, Republican Todd Domke.
Good to be with you.
And Democrat Dan Payne.
Nice to be here.